How is everybody doing? Welcome back to another episode of The Banker Next Door. I am your host, Dr. Joe Berquist. Today, I wanted to cover a topic that I thought was really interesting. What happens when your customers can't sign physically for loan documents? We have a very interesting situation with Gen Z. There was basically a blog post that sparked my interest on this from PCBB last week, which basically I'll bring up and show everybody here. So this was called Signature Solutions for Post-Cursive Generation. The disappearance of cursive writing instruction in most states means many Gen Z customers can't read or write in script. We discussed the implications for CFI branding and what constitutes a legal signature. So I think it's something you really don't think about at all, but it is a very good point. I mean, they're not teaching cursive handwriting in most schools across the country anymore. And so therefore, the newer generation, Gen Z, we just kind of take for granted that everybody can write they could sign their signature. They can write a signature on a check, or they open a deposit account. They could sign the signature card. They could sign the bank docs. If they take out a loan, they could sign all the loan documents. We just, again, we kind of take that for granted. But this just brought up a great point. So let's read about this here a little bit here. So the first part here is blurring the lines. Financial institutions have relied on cursive signatures as a unique security measure for verifying identity. Handwriting analysis could detect discrepancies based on subtle details like pen angle and the style of loops and tails. However, the safeguard is becoming less effective as cursive proficiency declines. In 2010, widespread adoption of an educational curriculum known as Common Core changed the cursive education game. Gosh, man, Common Core is probably the worst thing that ever happened. And, we thought No Child Left Behind was bad, but then Common Core was even worse. But anyway, I digress. So facing a finite number of hours in a school year and the growing importance of teaching students about technology, cursive writing became an optional part of school curriculums. And 45 out of the 46 states that adopted Common Core chose to eliminate it to devote resources to subjects such as math and information technology. The result is a generation of young adults, specifically a large portion of Gen Z, who have limited or no ability to read and write in cursive. As educators have woken to the consequences of generations unable to read thousands of years worth of documents and communications, combined with studies showing a link between the ability to master cursive writing and strong academic performance, the pendulum has begun to swing back, and 23 states have now mandated that cursive again be taught in schools. Nonetheless, financial institutions and other businesses that rely on signed documents are left grappling with the large number of individuals who never learned to read or write in cursive. So now we get into the unintended consequences. So absence the continuity that comes from ongoing cursive instruction in grade school, many young adults have inconsistent signatures or a total inability to sign their names in cursive. This lack of consistency has made it more difficult for financial institutions to rely on signature verification as a method for confirming people's identities, particularly since many financial institutions now rely on automated software programs that look for enhanced precision in signature replication. So what does that mean? Okay, so when you open a deposit account, you have to sign your signature. The bank is going to then scan your signature into the system. So when you come in to make a deposit or you want to cash a check, you have to sign the back of the check when you go to deposit the check or to cash the check. And the bank is basically going to check that signature against what they have on file in their system. So again, why is this done? Well, this is done primarily to prevent fraud. It's to prevent, again, discrepancies, maybe just mistakes, different things that can happen. So again, it becomes a real issue because banks really rely on that signature verification as a part of making sure that you are who you are. But let's continue here. So the issue extends to government forms as well, such as the recent presidential election, where signature inconsistencies led to the invalidation of votes. In Nevada, mail-in ballots for more than 13,000 were rejected because the signatures on them were different than those on the driver's license of the people who submitted them. a large portion of whom were Gen Z. Yet the onus remains on financial institutions, as there is no law requiring people to use cursive signatures. In fact, the laws of several states, many of which date back hundreds of years to a time when demographic differences kept portions of the country from being educated, recognize a mark as simple as an X as a legal signature representing proof of identity and intent. Added to that is the fact that the U.S. Electronic Signatures and Global and National Commerce Act, e-sign, made electronic signatures legal throughout the U.S. beginning in 2000. So then the final part here is called changing with the tide. So in order for community financial institutions, banks, to do business with the generation that did not learn cursive, it stands to reason that adapting to these wide-ranging signature capabilities for identity verification is the best path forward. The following are some guidelines that banks can use to identify what are acceptable legal signatures to help account for and accommodate customers who do not know how to sign their names in cursive or have other challenges that prevent them from doing so. So we have printed and illegible signatures. We have symbols. We have electronic signatures, and we have digital signatures. So printed and illegible, say that right, illegible signatures. There are no laws stating that a signature even has to be legible. As more signatures are printed or become scrolls or illegible flourishes, it's important to note that these are legally acceptable signatures as well. What is important is the consistency of the signature. Signature verification is improving through the use of AI and machine learning tools that can analyze signature patterns and even adjust as someone's handwriting style changes over time. These tools can even detect possible fraud through a difference in the pressure applied by the pen and the signature shape. Symbols. If someone has a challenge that only allows them to sign with an X or simple marking or symbol that is legal too, although not advised due to the greater difficulty in identity verification, it may be necessary to have that individual sign official documents in the presence of a witness or a notary. Electronic signatures. These signatures can be anything from drawing a signature with a mouse or trackpad, scanning a handwritten signature, or simply typing the name. Identity verification can come in the form of verifying through email, a PIN sent to the customer's mobile phone, or password-protected forms. And then finally, digital signatures. Electronic forms can take a step further with security and identity verification through the use of digital signatures, which generate a private key when a customer electronically signs a form that encrypts the data and even notes when the document was signed. So differing levels of comprehension and mastery of cursive writing among younger generations have made it necessary for banks to revisit what types of signatures they accept and the ways they can handle signature verification. Artificial intelligence and machine learning can assist with such challenges, but banks should ensure that employees are educated about these issues as well. So there you have it. So here are some things. So again, some of the things that we could possibly use here to help with this are printed and illegible signatures, symbols, electronic signatures, and digital signatures. But it just, again, this just brings back a very interesting point here that, we have this whole generation now, Gen Z, that a lot of them literally cannot sign their signature. So, what are you going to do when that happens? Particularly, if you're a bank out there that's targeting the younger generation, you're trying to get more business from that younger generation by bringing in more, deposit accounts. And then, of course, you want them to sign up for, mobile banking, online banking, maybe different apps. Maybe you use the Zelle, real-time payment platform, that kind of thing. So, like I said, this was just an unusual thing. I think it's something that very much a lot of the older generation, the boomers, the Gen X, you kind of just take for granted that, oh yeah, people just know how to sign their signature. So like I said, it's a very interesting thing to look at. And, I will be interested to see. I think that there may be some other ways that banks may get creative in tackling this issue going forward in the future, but we'll have to see what that is. So, but I hope everybody. So again, I just thought this was an interesting topic. Hopefully, other people found this one interesting as well. But with that, I will wrap up, and I will basically say, if you like this episode, please make sure to like, share, and subscribe, as it always helps the channel. Remember, we are on YouTube, Rumble, and all major podcast platforms. Please be sure to leave your comments down below, as I always enjoy getting back to everybody. As always, make sure to check out some of the other content on the channel. And remember, tomorrow night we will be doing the BND live stream, the strategy room, every Saturday night on YouTube at 8 p.m. So please make sure to tune in and check that out. I hope everybody had a great week, and I will see everybody hopefully tomorrow night as we fly into what hopefully is a great weekend. But thanks a lot, and I'll see everybody again real soon. See ya.